Greetings. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. You the biggest hater of them all. It ain't no time, it ain't no time, it ain't no time, it ain't no time. It ain't no time, it ain't no hills, it ain't no mind. It ain't no time, it ain't no time, it ain't no line. It ain't no time, it ain't no time, it ain't no flying. You dropping them down, you dropping them down, you dropping them down. You look like you lying, you look like you lying, you look like you lying. You look like you pretty decided to sign, sign up to the sun. Look like I'm still on the run. They trying to tell me to calm down. People out came in the game, then I start writing that tongue. We don't know what we be saying, we just be yelling our buns. We don't know what we be saying, we just be yelling our buns. I like to play with the fans, right before I do the arms. Good morning! Going around the stage, I like to play with the cash, going to shit down the square. I like to go to the jewelry, tell them to make them splash. I like to play with the cash, going to shit down the square. Kicking flavors, Saint Laurent, watch how I walk. Watch how I walk. That is paper, baby, the reason why we talk. That's why we talk. Ain't no favors, they gon' outline you and chop. You the biggest. Good morning, Johnny Sir. It ain't no time. Let's go, let's go. Good morning. Hey. You pushing the gas, you making them violate. I'm dropping the top on the far, that's looking the same, I'm on the ground. Hey. I with that hand and paying you niggas, you better go back to your stage. I did what I had to do, already let this shit out there, how man. I did what I should have did, so back to the trenches and look like a man. I sit at the throne, I sit at the throne, you niggas and them some clowns. I'm sipping that stuff every yard, when I'm at the door, the niggas, I reach on the big out of deep in the love. Good morning! I ain't on the way that I'm keeping it up. Christians that came out the mud. All right. I'm flexing on purpose when I'm in the club. Let's go, let's go, let's go. All right, let's get ready, ladies and gentlemen. It is officially showtime.
Yeah. It's me, Zeus.
Johnny Stars. Good morning, champ.
Sometimes it gotta be this way. It really does. But it shouldn't. Yeah. If you not my dog, I'ma have to cut you off. I'ma have to cut you off. I'ma have to cut you off. If you not my dog, I'ma have to cut you off. I'ma have to cut you off. I'ma have to cut you off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can't play these games no more. What you looking at me for?
Good morning.
Money, yo. All these games that you be playing, all this talk that you be saying, I don't really like to play. Get this money every week. Gotta keep my mental clear. Yeah, you know I'm out of here. I don't really have no fear. Yeah, you keep on showing tears. I'm not with that back and forth.
I'm the type to get to work. I'm the type to get a deal. I'm the type to
get a deal.
Let's go, let's go. Good morning.
I'm the type to pop the cash like I have sauce.
Ride around fast cars, rapping like behind bars. I do this all for my dogs. This is what it all costs when you gotta be the boss.
If you not my dog.
All right, DJ, good morning, get ready, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get started. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are once again back in the Thunderdome. I am your pilot, and it is now time to get started with today's special broadcast. But before we do, you know what we must do. Yes, good morning to all of you. Good morning, DJ. We must take care of some housekeeping items. All right, now listen up. For those of you who do not know who I am, I go by the name Zeus, or as some like to say, Triple H. And you know why they call me Triple H, ladies and gentlemen, because I am, first of all, the most honest person on social media. I promise to tell you nothing but the truth. So help me God. Good morning, Bill. Nice to see you. All right, the second H, ladies and gentlemen, is because I'm humble. There's nobody more humble than me. Listen, if I get it wrong, I really will be the first to apologize. It just turns out I haven't been wrong lately, all right? And that's the second H. All right, and then the last and final H, ladies and gentlemen, is because I am and will always remain the most handsome. Yeah, they don't like it when I say that, but, you know, I must say it. Yes, now many of you are very familiar with what we do on this side of TikTok, on this side of town. What we do on this side of town, ladies and gentlemen, is quite special. We hold our friends on the right, especially their leader, Donald J. Trump, accountable for their dirty, disgusting, filthy deeds, as well as their crimes. And believe you me,
There's a lot of dirty deeds and filthy crimes going on the right, all right? And so I just wanted to give you Trump supporters a bit of a heads up, all right? This part of the show is for those who are, this is their first time here, and I got to say this to them. It's going to get really uncomfortable for you, all right? Because what we do is we tell the truth, and it's an overwhelming amount of truth, all right? And it's specially crafted to make you feel as uncomfortable as humanly possible. Because one thing has become crystal clear to me. You all are a bunch of liars. You're a bunch of fake Christians. There's no truth in you. All you do is get online every day and spread misinformation. You don't even know where it comes from. 9 times out of 10, if Donald Trump is telling it to you, you're going to believe it. All right. And he gets it probably from Russia. All right. And so we got to make sure we get out here and engage you deranged MAGA demons with the truth. All right. And so with that being said, listen up. If you don't like the truth, like my good friend Brother Swerve says, you're lactose intolerant. Do me a huge favor. Go on and leave this live. All right. Leave this live and go on about your miserable lives. Go on about your miserable mornings, all right? A lot of you're probably eating breakfast. I hope I ruined your breakfast, right? You probably were feeling good. I hope I made you feel sad. I want you to feel really uncomfortable because what you've done to this country is unforgivable. It's unpatriotic. It's un-American, all right? So, listen, that's my warning about what we're about to get into. That's my warning, but guess what? I know you don't believe me, so that's why I say this. You don't got to take my word for it. Listen to your leader.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country,
right.
If you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
Exactly. Nothing grinds my gears more than the sound of Trump and his supporters crying day in and day out on this app. Right, attacking, right, Ange? It's like I knew when that ball dropped last year, when New Year's comes in, 3, 2, 1. No, happy New Year's. I wasn't surprised that this was going to be the year of accountability for Donald Trump and his supporters. I wasn't surprised. You do all that crime, you live all that fraud, you commit all that fraud, you do all that harm and damage to your wife and your family and your kids. Yeah, you reap what you sow. This is one of the universal laws out here. So I'm not shocked that this is happening. So we get into 2024, the ball has dropped. The court cases, those things were already on the calendar, right? For the ones that are really about to get started. There's a couple of them that are going to probably be moved around. But these court cases are starting. The truth about Donald Trump is really going to be coming out this year. And all I've been hearing is Trump supporters all across this app crying. Right, Ange? Right, Shay? Right, Miss Boss Diva Union Gang? I don't know if you're out there. They're just crying because they are now being held accountable for their dirty, disgusting, filthy deeds and their crimes. I have a rule and I enforce it very, very strongly. Right, Z-Pot? Trump supporters are not allowed to be victims around Zeus. They're not allowed to be victims around me. All right. I will make sure. Listen, you have my word. I will make sure I always serve them. I serve as a reminder to Donald Trump and MAGA that they are not allowed to be victims. I will always remind them of all the things that they have done and continue to do in this country. All right. I will never let them get away with it. They can try to move the goalposts as much as they want to. I don't go for it. When you talk to these folks, you ask them simple questions. Hey, let me ask you a question. Did President Biden steal the 2020 election? Yes or no? You know what they go? Oh, I can't answer that question. Oh, well, why can't you answer the question? Oh, because if I answer the question the way I feel is I'll get reported on TikTok. What do you mean? Well, they want to try to say the election was rigged. But they have no proof of this. of the things that they're trying to say that they believe in. They have no proof of it. So I asked these Trump supporters, I said, well, where do you get your information from? Oh, well, I don't listen to any of the media like you, Zeus. I don't do any of that CNN stuff, but then guess what they do? They bring me CNN articles whenever it's convenient for them to show that somehow President Biden and his son Hunter Biden are guilty of crime. Ladies and gentlemen, these Trump supporters have no credibility with Zeus. I don't trust them. And as far as I am concerned, the best thing that we could do to make this country better, if you really want to make America great, the best thing that we could do is to start deporting MAGA. Right, right, Queen Fleet? We want to deport MAGA. None of you deserve to be called citizens of this country. None of you. And a lot of you say, you know what? They're getting mad at me now. They're going, Zeus, why do you call us all MAGA? I'm not MAGA. I'm independent. No. You are MAGA if you voted for Donald Trump and you want to vote for him again. I don't care what you are. You could be blue, black, brown, yellow, pink. I don't care what you are. You are still MAGA. And like your leader said, MAGA isn't one thing. MAGA could be a brand. MAGA could be a cult. MAGA could be a religion. MAGA could be a tattoo. MAGA could be anything you demons want, all right? But it doesn't change a single thing when it comes to dealing with Zeus, all right? And so with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, you know what we got to do. Join me before we kick this show off and get started. Join me in giving MAGA what they deserve, right? Our first honorable round of what? Booze and shame, because these folks know that the end is near and there's nothing that they can do about it. Join me in giving them what they deserve, some booze and shame. Get out of here, MAGA. There's only two things I want MAGA to do for me right now. Get to the border and send Donald Trump that $88 million, all right? That's the only thing you can do for me, all right? Other than that, I don't want to hear it. All right, now let's talk about this bit of a situation that we found ourselves in. Lawrence O'Donnell, how many of you know who he is? He makes a bold prediction about the looming Trump, bankruptcy. Ladies and gentlemen, this is poetry to my ears, all right? This is poetry in motion. The way that these folks, Lawrence O'Donnell, is able to just predict Donald Trump's future. And I know this is scary to you Trump supporters, but you know what? Stop typing in my comment section. Don't put Trump 2024 in there. Don't put anything like FJB in there, because we know that stands for Joe Biden. Don't do it. Just sit your special behinds down and listen to this special broadcast. You just might learn something. All right?
This morning,
you just might learn something.
This isn't sustainable.
Here we go.
Well, E. Jean Carroll has sent Donald Trump on his way to bankruptcy with the $90 million that he now owes E. Jean Carroll as of tonight. That's $83.3 million in a jury return for E. Jean Carroll on Friday, added to the $5.6 million that a jury returned for E. Jean Carroll in the same courtroom last year, and with interest running on both of those judgments.
Wow.
Interest. Remember the interest that everyone else has forgotten about. Donald Trump is already around $90 million in debt to E. Jean Carroll. And that debt increases every single day that it is not paid because of the interest added by law to that amount.
Wow.
Every day that it remains unpaid. And that could be the smallest debt that Donald Trump owes after a New York judge enters a judgment in a civil fraud case against Donald Trump, in which the New York State Attorney General is seeking $370 million. And that's not all. Don't stop there.
Don't stop.
There are much bigger possible judgments coming. Washington, D.C. juries could make that New York number look small if they return verdicts against Donald Trump in the civil cases brought against him by 11 members of the House of Representatives. That's 11 plaintiffs who are suing Donald Trump for, in effect, threatening their lives on January 6th by sending his mob to the Capitol. There are also 3 police officers who are suing Donald Trump for the threats and injuries that they suffered on January 6th. Each one of those plaintiffs' cases, each one of them could be getting hundreds of millions of dollars. In the same Washington, D.C. courthouse where a civil jury returned a verdict of $148 million against Rudolph Giuliani for the defamation of 2 Georgia election workers, Ruby Freeman and her daughter, Shay Moss. Donald Trump could be facing court orders to pay $1 billion or more in the next few years. And those Washington, D.C. jurors are going to get to hear Donald Trump saying in depositions that he's worth $10 billion. Those juries are going to hear statements from Donald Trump saying he's worth much more money than anything his accounting of his assets shows. And so the 90 million or 100 million, depending on exactly when she collects it, that E. Jean Carroll is now on her way to collecting from Donald Trump, could just be the beginning of Donald Trump's collapse into bankruptcy because of all of the willful and stupid ways Donald Trump has broken the law.
Wow. You ever heard somebody? Oh my God, did he say well over $1 billion? I mean, wow, MAGA. We haven't even gotten to the 91 felonies that he's being charged with. We're just talking about civil cases. And you know what gets me is when they get online and they say they love the fact that Trump is a businessman, right? They say, I love that he's a businessman, and we need to run this country like Trump runs his businesses. There is nobody in their right mind that would ever, knowing this information, there's nobody in their right mind knowing this information would honestly say, you know who I'm going to vote for? The guy that is being sued for over $1 billion, all right? The same guy that's being charged with 91 felony charges. I'm going to vote for that guy over the alternative. There is really something wrong with you Trump supporters. So guess what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen, all right? We know MAGA has no shame. So once again, we got to give it to him. Join me in giving these Trump supporters what they deserve. Another round of booze and shame. And we're going to give them some booze and shame because clearly these folks aren't that bright. They're not that smart. How on earth, no kidding, no joking, how on earth do you think a person that's being sued for over $1 billion and being charged with 91 felonies is qualified to be the president of this country? Only a fool would believe that, and I believe very deep in my heart that all of you Trump supporters are fools. Join me in giving them what they deserve, ladies and gentlemen. Another round of booze and shame. Don't blame me. Don't blame me. Don't blame me. I'm not the one telling Trump to run his mouth. I'm not the one telling him to post that crap. I'm not the one. I'm not even affiliated with him. Remember, you said I'm with Soros, right? This is all his own doing. He is literally, you ever heard someone say, I'm my own worst enemy? He's the actual example of that. Donald Trump is arguably his own worst enemy. I've never in my life, ladies and gentlemen, seen someone who wakes up 24/7 sabotages himself day in and day out. Not only does he commit the crime, right? I mean, listen, let's talk about the Stormy Daniels thing for a second. Not only is he out there sneaking and geeking, right? Not only is he out there sneaking and geeking, doing things he shouldn't do, but he actually leaves the evidence that he did it as well. This is a criminal that actually records himself committing the crime, and then goes one step further and gives the evidence to the prosecutor, right? And then goes back and says, now, how did you catch me? How did you catch me? I don't understand. Well, first of all, you're doing all your crimes and you're posting it on social media. Who does that? Trump supporters, think about this. This is the guy that would try to, let's go rob a bank. This is what Donald Trump would do. Let's go rob a bank with me. And then you would say, that sounds like a terrible idea. No, it's not a terrible idea. We could do it and we could totally get away with it, right? Because I'm Donald Trump. And you would go, you know what? I think you could get away with it. And then he would go commit the crime and have you do everything and record you. And then he just posted all over his social media platform. And then you would get indicted, you would get arrested, and you'd be going, well, how come I'm in prison? And he's not. Well, because he's telling on you every single opportunity he can, because he can't control himself, right? This is, I just can't believe people out here really don't see it. But you know what? I do believe it because it happens every single day. So let's move on to our next topic, ladies and gentlemen. You know what we came to do? I see there's some dissension in the comment section.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country.
It's election interference. If there is any election interference, trust me, it starts and stops with Donald Trump, all right? He's his own worst enemy. He's literally interfering with himself. All right? Donald Trump's self-inflicted legal troubles keep getting worse and worse, all right? And like I said earlier, the jury last week ordered that he pay over $83.3 million to E. Jean Carroll for statements he made in 2019 when he accused her of lying about allegations that he raped her inside of a dressing room of a Manhattan department store. All right? But here's the thing. All that is in addition to the $5 million in damages that Trump was ordered to pay Carroll last year. Now, his attorney, Roberta Kaplan, who has been representing Carroll through the case, says that the ex-president committed yet another crime when he took the stand during her client's civil defamation trial, which concluded on Friday. He lied on the stand, she said to Anderson Cooper. After last week's jury verdict, he again said, I stand by everything I said in my deposition, which was, I did nothing to E. Jean Carroll. Never met her. She's a whack job. Never heard of her. So not only committed perjury, but the jury themselves saw him commit perjury. Kaplan then brought up the widely circulated photo of Trump and Carroll from the 1990s that proves his testimony wasn't true. She continued, the jury watched his deposition video where he pointed out, as everyone knows, that famous photo of him, Ivana, and E. Jean Carroll and her then husband. And he points to E. Jean and says, that's Marla Maples. And then my favorite part of it is once he realized he made a mistake, he says, oh, it's a blurry photo. And I said to the jury, you saw the photo. It's not a blurry photo. All right. Now, she says this. Kaplan did not confirm with Cooper whether she plans to pursue perjury charges against the one-term, twice-impeached, quadruply indicted ex-president, but in the state of New York, the charge carries a punishment of up to 7 years in prison and $5,000 if convicted. You see, ladies and gentlemen, her attorney said, if it comes down to it, it's on the table to go after Donald Trump again for defaming her client. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is another reason why we must give Donald Trump what he deserves once again, right? He can't control himself, right? And he knows the end is near. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what we must do, because Donald Trump knows that his days are numbered as a free man and that E. Jean Carroll's lawyer, Roberta Kaplan, isn't done kicking Trump's you-know-what. All right, because Donald Trump is a gift that keeps on giving, all right? Join me in giving Donald Trump what he deserves. Another round of booze and shame. I don't care. Fatality. Yeah. I hope she takes everything that he owns. I really do. I saw E. Jean Carroll yesterday. They said, what are you going to do with the money? She said something along the lines that, you know, it's going to be going towards women's rights. And I said, that is so awesome of her to do that. And if she wants to do, listen up. And if she wants to do a little shopping on the side, let her. That's the least you can do. All right. Especially after all that harm Donald Trump put her through. You don't deserve to say a single thing about what she does with that money. The only thing you deserve to do, MAGA, like I've been saying, send Donald Trump the money. All right? Send it. Don't buy any eggs. Don't buy any gas. Just send Donald Trump all that you have. And I guarantee you, listen, I heard this, MAGA. If you send Donald Trump all that you have, right? You know, those, you go into your cabinet right now, the peanut butter's almost empty, right? You looked in your refrigerator and you only got one egg left, right? And you got a corner of milk left and you ain't got no cereal. Oh my God. You're desperate right now. I heard something though, MAGA. If you go, but you know, I don't have the proof of it, but I need one of you to try this, or maybe all of you. If you send Donald Trump all that you have, I hear that once he gets all your money, you just got to wait about a week or two, all right? And then all of a sudden, your cup's going to run over, right? Your cup will runneth over. All right, send them all you have, all right? And give it about 2 weeks. Those peanut butter jars are going to be bursting at the seams, all right? All the flour you want, all the eggs you want. I mean, it's biblical in nature, I hear, all right? Just send them everything. I know I'm going to hell for that, but you know what? God will forgive me. All right, let's move it on to our next topic. Illinois Election Board will consider whether to boot Trump from the ballot over insurrection amendment. All right, Illinois Election Board today, ladies and gentlemen, is scheduled to consider whether to keep Trump on the state's primary ballot after a recommendation that he be removed over the Constitution's insurrection provision. The meeting of the Illinois State Board of Elections, which is split evenly between Democrat and Republicans, comes a little more than a week before the U.S. Supreme Court will hear arguments in a similar case from Colorado. That state's highest court found that the 14th Amendment barred the Republican former president from the ballot over his role in the January 6, 2021 attack on the Capitol. After a brief argument last week, a hearing officer for the Illinois board said it should be up to the courts rather than election officials to decide Trump's eligibility because of the complicated constitutional issues involved. But the opinion from Clark Erickson, a retired judge and a Republican, concluded that a preponderance of evidence presented proved that Donald Trump did engage in an insurrection and should be barred from the ballot. You know, when Donald Trump says things like this, right? You know when he says this, right? What does he say?
Every time the radical left Democrats, Marxists, communists, and fascists indict me, I consider it a great badge of courage.
Right? Unfortunately, he's wrong. It's all Republicans that are doing this to Donald Trump, right? I mean, if we could have done it, right? I know it. If we could have did it, this would have been done a long time ago, MAGA. So I want you to know Donald Trump is lying to you when he says it's the Democrats. This is a retired Republican judge in Illinois that has also concluded that Donald Trump did engage and participate in an insurrection. That tweet that he posted, you explain to us, MAGA, why on earth would Donald Trump post that tweet about Mike Pence not having the courage, all right, to do the right thing in the middle of the Capitol being assaulted? Why would he post such a tweet unless he himself knew there was violence going on at the Capitol? And you know he did, because when they told him, you can't go to the Capitol, sir, because these folks are armed, what did Donald Trump say? They're not there to hurt me. So he knew these folks were there at the Capitol and their intent was to cause violence and harm even to his vice president. And this is why I say all of you Trump supporters aren't nothing but a bunch of seditionists, treasonous traitors. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in giving Donald Trump what he deserves, and MAGA as well, because they don't get it. Another round of boos and shame. And they deserve it because they know good and well Donald Trump participated in an insurrection and shouldn't be allowed to be on any ballot in the United States. But they will sit out here on this app crying that it's unconstitutional. No, it's not. Donald Trump doing what he did on January 6th. Well, let's give it to him. Guys are, I'm telling you, I mean, that's why I say I don't allow Donald Trump and his supporters to be victims around me. All right, let's move it along, ladies and gentlemen. Texas Abbott, all right, Greg Abbott is encouraging a criminal white extremist to come to the border. A Latino rights group says, see, you know, I always get it. You know, it's always fascinating when I get these folks in my live and they say Latinos for Trump. 9 times out of 10, most of them are Russian propagandists, in my opinion. All right. And if you aren't a Russian propagandist, then you're just completely delusional. All right. The country's oldest Latino civil rights group on Monday accused Texas Governor Greg Abbott of inciting extremists to commit acts of violence amid escalating tensions between Texas and the federal government over border management. League of United Latin American Citizens National President Domingo Garcia warned that Abbott's rhetoric could incite violence. Bigots like the purported that killed 23 people and injured 22 others in El Paso, Texas Walmart in 2019. False and insightful political rhetoric from Governor Greg Abbott is agitating people to possibly commit acts of violence and mass unalivings. We urge our members, especially those in Texas, to be on alert for armed out-of-state extremists with a hate agenda. You see what I mean? When these Russian bears come to me and they tell me that I push hate on my platform, they're projecting. It's you. Greg Abbott, and I've seen some of the videos. Actually, one of these deranged Trump supporters made a video. They stitched one of my video doing the exact thing that I'm talking about, making threatening acts of violence. This guy on this video, he actually said he's going to move to the border. He's going to relocate his family and he'll protect the border himself, and that he's a real good pew-pewer. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what we're talking about. These Trump supporters are unhinged. They're deranged. And they are, to me, the greatest threat to our country. You know, they like to say it's the migrants, minus the individual yesterday that we saw attack the Capitol on January 6th, minus that guy. MAGA, ladies and gentlemen, to me, definitely is the most dangerous threat to our country, because a lot of these folks, they're poorly educated and easily manipulated. Yeah, they're very emotional. And this is why I stand behind what I've been saying. Yes, deport MAGA. I'm glad that you're going to the border. And I just hope President Biden does the next thing. Once we get you there, we're just going to push you on the other side, right? Ladies and gentlemen, guess what we got to do? Join me once again in giving MAGA via Greg Abbott what they deserve. Another round of what? Booze and shame. All right, we're going to give them some booze and shame because they are clearly a threat to our democracy and they don't realize it, right? Let's give them some booze and shame.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave.
Right.
As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now.
Right. If you're not happy here, then you are more than welcome to leave. All right, now let's move it on, ladies and gentlemen, to our next topic. All right, this is something I wanted to cover. All right, this to me is hilarious. All right, speaking of Texas, all right, now we all heard about God's Army, right? Border truck convoy, all right, going to the border to secure. Remember, there were supposed to be like 1,600 of these folks. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I got some bad news. Bad views, I got some bad news for you, all right? The God's Army trucker convoy that's headed to the southern border in a Take Our Borders Back campaign has been decimated by conspiracy theories that it's an FBI front. Now they think it's an FBI front now, right? Remember I said that? The line of trucks that departed Virginia Beach Monday has just a few dozen participants, much less than the 700,000 organizers had promised. Wow. According to reports, the less than stellar turnout was likely due to theories circulating in right-wing circles that the convoy could be a psyop or a honeypot trap laid by the federal government to coax people into committing violence. Quote, I have 3 former associates doing lengthy prison sentences because of the January 6th setup. This is what one of them said. One person wrote on Telegram, I know firsthand, even if they don't have charges, that they can pin them on you and they will make some up. One of the organizers of the convoy, former military commander Pete Chambers, even gave credence to the conspiracy theories in a video message to supporters telling FBI agents that if they are going after these people, trying to trap them, that you're going to be found. Ladies and gentlemen, see, this is how I know what we're doing out here on social media with these lives and telling the truth is very effective. Because I was actually out here encouraging MAGA to get to the border, all right? Because Donald Trump needs you. All right, Greg Abbott needs you. Remember that 25 states signed on to that letter that you guys were going to get to the border. All right? And something must have went off in their minds that if we go to the border, and they thought about the show, if we go to the border and we start getting caught and rounded up, we know that in addition to the coverage that Zeus does about January 6th, he's going to have a special part of his show called the God Army section, where he'll be able to get a few chuckles in on us. So perhaps we shouldn't go to the border, and perhaps we shouldn't listen to our leader, Donald J. Trump. I tell you, these folks understand what's coming, right, Miss Boss Diva? Ladies and gentlemen, guess what we got to do? Because these cowards, they're too chicken to go to prison and get that ultimate MAGA reward. All talk, no action. I knew it. You know what we got to do? Give these liars and these hypocrites, these scaredy cats, what they deserve. Another round of booze and shame. We can't get them to pass any legislation to help secure the border. Thank you, Lucy. And we can't even get them to get to the border in their little pickup trucks, their big rigs. These are some scaredy cats. Ladies and gentlemen, they can't save us. Give them some booze and shame. Too scared to go out there and put those boots in the ground. Oh my gosh. I can't, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, you can't trust these Trump supporters. They don't know what the heck they are doing. Thank you, Bernie, for the cap. All right, moving it along, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we got to get ready to open up these boxes and hear from those of you who are brave enough to get in the box. This is just a PSA announcement, all right? Lauren Boebert's carpetbagging campaign already flagging in New Colorado District. And this is just, we talked about it, but I always love to make it a point to highlight Lauren Boebert, all right? I just enjoy doing it because to me, she's one of the mascots for MAGA. And it's very important that we show MAGA what's going to happen, all right? Because what's happening to all of these MAGA individuals ultimately will happen to Donald Trump, all right? Lauren Boebert carpetbagging campaign in her New Colorado District is already showing signs of flagging, all right? The MAGA Republicans high profile politics didn't translate into high numbers in a new straw poll, ladies and gentlemen. And we've talked about this in the popular 4th district. Quote, she might have trouble even winning the Republican nomination, writes another writer, much less the general election. The poll ranked Boebert 5th out of 9 candidates. Out of 117 votes cast, Boebert only received 12. Candidates who ranked higher included Logan County Commissioner Jerry Sonnenberg, State House Minority Leader Mike Lynch, and a Douglas County filmmaker named Deborah Flora, according to the sources. Boebert, who will flee District 3 after her explicit Beetlejuice groping scandal, at the musical, which made national headlines, was slammed by her opponent, who accused her of playing politics. Could you give the definition of a carpetbagger? Lynch demanded. Do you know what a carpetbagger is, Miss Lauren Boebert? They went on to say, the crops may be different in Colorado's 4th district, but the values are not. All right. Boebert said to the room, I'm a proven fighter for the values that you all believe in. You know what, ladies and gentlemen? It's one of those situations where someone hasn't gotten to Lauren Boebert's ear and told her the truth. All right. So Lauren Boebert, listen up, because I don't think there's anyone around you that's going to tell you what I'm going to tell you. Lauren Boebert, hang it up. It's over. The thrill is gone, Lauren Boebert. The thrill is gone. You have zero credibility out here. Not in these TikTok streets and not in Congress. Whether it's on the East Coast or the West Coast, whether it's North or South, whether you're in District 1 through whatever in Colorado, Lauren Boebert, we all have seen your track record, all right? And your biggest accomplishment was the Beetlejuice musical. That's probably your biggest accomplishment, because what you did to that Beetlejuice musical is going down in the history books, all right? I can't even think about that without thinking about you, Miss Boebert, all right? So you don't have a future in politics, but you might want to consider, getting into the performing arts, all right? You might want to consider that, all right? I'm pretty sure if you reached out to the Beetlejuice musical, they might actually figure out a role for you, all right? And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, guess what we got to do? Join me in giving Miss Lauren Boebert what she deserves. Another round of booze and shame, because guess what? She's a loser, all right? And you know how it goes. Born a loser, and you will die a loser. Let's give it to her. All right, we're rounding the corner, ladies and gentlemen, and then we'll get to opening up these boxes and hearing from those of you who are brave enough to get in the box and tell the truth, all right? It's like my grandmother says, you got to tell the truth and shame the devil, or in this case, we shame the MAGA demon. All right, Mike Lindell, ally, reveals he is losing everything and then breaks down crying. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what we came here to do. We came here to collect those MAGA tears, right? Nothing makes my day. You could be having a miserable day, but if you go listen to these Trump supporters crying, I tell you, it'll make your day feel great. Trust me, nothing makes me feel better than to know that all of Donald Trump's supporters, including Donald Trump, they're not really doing that well when it comes to politics. All right, let's go. Here's what she said.
The reason that I'm today is because there are people, as Tyler said, who say a lot, but they do very little. I'm with this team and with Mike Lindell because he has kept every single promise he's ever made. The first person we called was Mike Lindell. And probably the last one we call when this is all over, to thank him for his steadfastness, his courageous, character-rich. Have you ever seen anything like it? Losing everything to gain a country. That's what we're doing right now, and that's what Mike is doing. I want to introduce just a couple of these people to you. It's been such an honor the last 2 years to watch Mike Lindell put all of this together in the face of unbelievable odds.
An unbelievable odds.
You're going to hear from him special today. This is a bit of an intimate group, but you have to understand everything that has been given up. And so many were unwilling to do it. Could have, but are unwilling because they don't want to lose what they've been given in this lifetime right now. They don't want to lose their wealth. They don't want their reputation attacked. They don't want everything they've ever done to be demoralized because they're choosing to speak out about elections. Democrats get book deals. We get canceled. Mike Lindell has put together an extraordinary team, and it is my absolute honor and privilege to bring out our very first speaker today. The reason...
You hear that, ladies and gentlemen? Mike Lindell is losing everything, and it hurts so much. It hurts so much that they're crying about it, all right? And this ladies and gentlemen, is evidence of more thing to come. Yes, the woman who was giving that speech, her name was Sherronna Bishop, all right? And she was speaking at a Turning Point Action Conference. And she somehow was able to tap in to the tears that MAGA is shedding this year. She was able to just get right into that, right? He's losing everything. Democrats get book deals and Republicans get canceled. Yeah. What she didn't tell you is all of this is happening and it's self-inflicted because you choose to believe lies. Yeah. You choose to engage in an insurrection. Yeah. And you spreaded that nasty big lie. All right. You know what I'm talking about? So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, you know what we got to do? Because Mike Lindell's he's following the same path as Rudy Giuliani, Donald Trump, right? You're going to lose it all and possibly go to prison. Getting that ultimate MAGA reward. Join me in giving Mike Lindell and Sherronna Bishop what they deserve. This bright and early on a Tuesday morning. Another round of booze and shame. Get them out of here. We don't care. Yeah. You know, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, these folks, ladies and gentlemen, there's really something wrong with them. All right. But, you know, that's why I say we're going to hold them accountable and we won't allow them to be victims. All right. We are moving to the tail end of the broadcast where, you know, we must cover what's going on with one of these traitors, these insurrectionists who attacked our Capitol on January 6th. All right, and for the record, ladies and gentlemen, this is an uncomfortable part of the show. So if you don't like it, you know, feel free to swipe out and come on back. But we're gonna cover it, all right? And it's very important that we highlight the accomplishments of these January Sixers, all right? Because what I want to make sure they all understand is since I've been doing this part of the broadcast, not one time have we ever convicted, arrested, or sentenced anybody that was FBI, BLM, or Antifa. We are 100% so far of everyone that's been sentenced being a Trump supporter. All right. These are all Trump supporters. All right. And no, I don't feel bad about them getting sentenced. All right. So let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. A Florida man has been arrested on felony misdemeanor charges related to his conduct during the breach of the United States Capitol on January 6th. His actions and the actions of others disrupted a joint session of the United States Congress, all right, convened to ascertain and count the electoral votes related to the 2020 presidential election. Marcus Smith, 47 years dumb, of Fleming Island, Florida, is charged in an indictment in the District of Columbia with a felony offense of destruction of property and aiding and abetting. And do we have what these, you know, it's one of these red hats, criminals. You know what the red hat means? It means criminal, right? In addition to the felony, Smith was charged with several misdemeanor offenses, including entering and remaining in a restricted building or grounds, disorderly and disruptive conduct in a restricted building or grounds, engaging in physical violence in a restricted building or grounds, disorderly conduct in a Capitol building, act of physical violence in the Capitol grounds or building, and parading, demonstrating, or picketing in a Capitol building. Smith was arrested on Friday, January 26, 2024, by the FBI in Florida and made his initial appearance in the Middle District of Florida. See, MAGA, you see what you do? You assault our democracy, and now you end up paying the ultimate price. You're going to prison, all right? Ladies and gentlemen, you know what we must do. Join me in giving this seditionist, treasonous traitor what he deserves. Another round of booze and shame! All right. And you know, since he's been arrested, you know what we gotta do? Let's send him off the old-fashioned way.
I'd like to begin by addressing the heinous attack on the United States Capitol. Like all Americans, I am outraged by the violence, lawlessness, and mayhem. I immediately deployed the National Guard and federal law enforcement to secure the building and expel the intruders. America is and must always be a nation of law and order. The demonstrators who infiltrated the Capitol have defiled the seat of American democracy. To those who engaged in the acts of violence and destruction, you do not represent our country. And to those who broke the law, you will pay.
Well, let me just say I'm not going to spend too much time on Donald Trump's cognitive disorders. He tried to say that Nikki Haley did not allow the National Guard to come, but it was Nancy Pelosi. It was nobody. It was Donald Trump. He knows, and you know, that Mitch McConnell, Chuck Schumer, and I begged for hours for the National Guard to come. He knows that we don't have the authority to bring the National Guard. The president does. Sad to say for the District of Columbia, because every other state, the governor has that power.
You hear that? You hear that, MAGA? First, let's address what your leader, Donald Trump, said. First of all, the reason I don't listen to you knuckleheads is quite simple. Because I know what you do. You wake up every single day, right? And you listen to a man that puts a bird's nest right there, right? He paints it whatever color he wants to, depending on his mood, right? Then he paints himself orange, right? Then he puts on that diaper. You should see, go on the Google, MAGA, and look up this diaper that Donald Trump wears, right? He puts on this diaper, and he pretends like he's some sort of superhero. He pretends like he's some sort of superhero, and he can save the world. What kind of man can save the world that has to wear a diaper? Think about it, MAGA. It doesn't make sense. And he gets onto his social media platform, and he begins to spread lies, right? He spreads lies about everything in an attempt to get you all to send him all that you have. And he sells you on the dream that if you come, right? He came up with an event called Stop the Steal. That should have been a red flag. But he said, come on down to Washington, D.C. I need you to help me save this country. And we're going to go down to the Capitol, and I'll be right there with you. And he never showed up. But you folks went anyway, and now you are all sitting in prison cells right now, claiming to be victims when you're not. You believe Donald Trump because you choose to be willfully ignorant. You choose to be in his cult. And like he said in his speech, you will pay. Not him. He's still flying around in his private jet. He's still campaigning off of your suffering. But you will pay. You do not represent our country, and all of those folks in there, those are intruders. And you want to know who summoned the National Guard? Donald Trump. He said it was Nancy. No, it wasn't. Nancy Pelosi said she begged him and her and Chuck Schumer. Mitch McConnell, they begged him to get the National Guard there, and he wouldn't do it. Because he wanted to see all of you in a prison cell. You cannot make this stuff up, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. Let's go. All right. That concludes the first part of the broadcast. Now it's time to open up these boxes and hear from those of you who are brave enough to get in the box and tell the truth. All right. You know what we do over here. We tell the truth and we shame the devil. All right. And no, I don't want to argue with any of you deranged Trump supporters today. The only thing you can do, honestly, MAGA, the only thing you can do is sit your special behinds down and listen to this special broadcast, all right? Because playtime is over. This is the year of accountability for Donald Trump and his supporters. I guarantee it, all right? By the time this year ends, Donald Trump will be convicted, and a lot of his supporters will be in prison, and the MAGA movement will be a thing of the past. I guarantee it, all right? Let's move it on, ladies and gentlemen. We got our first. All right. There's a lot of noise.
Yeah, I'm at work at the wastewater treatment plant.
Oh, okay.
But, I just wanted to share with you, letting the folks know that, shame that MAGA demon, and, come this November, vote blue. If you do anything other than vote blue, well, you probably got some racism things on your mind. I'm just tossing that. I'm just tossing that out there.
You think so?
Yeah.
A lot of people they don't like it when you inject or invoke racism into the politics, and so I just wanted to make sure you were aware of that. And what would your response be to those people?
Well, I mean, like, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but if you're over there with the Republicans, I mean, just sit down and listen to video clips of Donald J. Trump, and I mean, like, read between the lines, folks. I mean, it's pretty easy to see racism.
Right.
I mean, watching a white man pitch a brick at the back of the head of our beloved, Martin Luther King Jr. That was obviously racism, and listening to the voice of Donald J. Trump stand up and speak to his supporters, if you will,
Right.
human bodies, that sure does seem like racism to me.
Yeah. But it seems to me like they are openly endorsing.
So,
All right.
my big message today is vote blue, love everybody, stay strong, and keep on watching Zeus and learning the good message.
Hey man, I can get with it. That's a nice little message you got for us. Now you're at work, right? I don't want you to get in trouble for being on, this app doing God's work, all right?
Zeus, I'm a city worker. Government work moves slow.
Well, at least you got a job. There's a lot of people out here saying they can't find work. So I'm glad that you're helping bring those unemployment numbers down and helping Biden out with that, all right?
Hey, whatever I can do all day long.
All right, Jonathan Harris, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate it. All right.
Appreciate you. Thank you, sir.
All right. You're welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give it up to Jonathan Harris. Oh my gosh. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I tell you, we got it. Good morning, Ange. How are you doing this Tuesday morning?
Tuesday.
Right, I'm getting my days confused. Right, how are you doing?
I'm okay. Zeus.
Let's go.
Have you ever come across a character on here named goes by NWO by any chance?
I can't say that I have.
Oh,
NWO. New World
oh
Order.
my. One of the biggest mega demons I have
Oh,
ever come across.
what are they doing, Ange? What
Okay,
are they
so
doing?
he comes in. I could tell from the start he was going to be probably pretty disingenuous. One of the first things he says, loud and proud with his whole chest, is that he is a Christian nationalist.
Oh, okay.
So I
Wow.
already knew probably what I was dealing with. So
Right.
then this Christian goes on to call us, myself and my panel, all sorts of names, tear down everything about my appearance, my character.
Mm.
Yeah, my whole panel, I think we had Miss Morningstar, we had Tracy, we had Andy, we had Jess, we had a whole crew of us, and they just came after us. He came with probably, oh God, I don't know, at least 15 people. They all just
Wow.
swarmed in on my live and just took right over. And guess what
Uh,
another thing he said loud and proud,
what's
that
that?
women should not be voting.
Oh,
Women should
oh.
not be voting because once we started to vote, um, the nuclear family, the nuclear family has been dissolving.
Oh.
Yes, and the
Did he
nuclear
have any? Did he have any facts to back
he
that
had
up?
zero facts, Zeus.
Oh.
They came zero facts, and they just came up. I did not realize initially that they were all together. This was like a
Oh.
whole group, and then he had all these women following him and agreeing with him.
Oh.
They didn't want to vote. They didn't want. They
Mm.
thought they shouldn't vote either. They were agreeing with this MAGA demon.
Wow.
And then I finally realized they were all together and they were horrific. So Zeus, if you ever come across this person, I don't
Mm.
think you want to let him up in your box because he's going to bring misinformation. He's going to bring hate. The
Mm.
vitriol out of this alleged Christian was
Evil.
it was pure evil, Zeus.
Yeah.
Out of control live. I'm tired of these people coming up, just disingenuous and the other thing too, like you said, I think you said it. They're an independent. They're an
Mm.
independent. The other one is they're a libertarian. No, you're not. You're MAGA.
Tell him, Ange.
When I get through all that BS, oh, who did you vote for? They finally will admit they voted for Trump.
Bingo. 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 They're a
So
MAGA demon.
they are the worst MAGA demons. I mean, I think I would have taken clickbait or struggle bonds or who else do we have? HVAC,
Wow.
Bushmaster. I would have taken every single one of them over these MAGA
Yeah.
demons.
Tell
Zeus.
him. Tell him,
Jesus
Ange.
Christ! Oh my God! I was out of character. I was out of control. I swore at them. I
Uh-oh. Don't
didn't.
let him.
No, I didn't keep it clean, Zeus.
Oh my
I
God.
didn't.
Don't let him get to you.
No,
Don't let him.
they rattled me, and I'm so angry about the fact that I let them rattle me. But
Uh-oh.
anywho, I'm gonna
You
just
do a great job, Ange. Don't
I
let him get to
you
you.
know I apologize to anybody of my mutuals on my panel because it was just insane and out of control. So we're gonna try it again today. Keep NWO out of your box. I found out from I think it was our friend
Thank
Sharon
you,
that comes
Valerie.
in once in a while. She said that they come in like a pack like that just to try to get your lives taken down.
Oh, okay.
And
Well, I
they
got.
claim they're Christians.
Oh, well, listen. I'm gonna tell you this, Andy. You know where I stand. I don't believe that a person can be a Christian and support Donald Trump. As far as I'm concerned, whoever this joker is, this local joker, he's
Yep.
nothing more than a MAGA demon, and he can catch any of the same heat that I've been dishing out. All right, you just don't let them get you all worked up. All right, Ange, they're
Maybe he
looking.
should come to you, Zeus. Maybe he
Yeah,
should. If you see it.
I would hate to have to send him back to where he came in front of
Well, I
everybody.
don't know. Maybe you should. I blocked him. I
I
blocked
got
him.
one of these. I got my heavy hammer. I mean, I don't think I'll need it with these guys. But like
No,
I said,
don't know.
I asked you one question. I said, did he come with any facts? And
Nope.
you said he didn't.
No.
Yeah.
Zero
Yeah, what
facts.
can
They
we-
talked about Eugene Carroll briefly. And
Oh,
we
yeah.
asked about okay, because of course they went to the whole. They claimed that she said what was it that
The
grape is
sewers of TikTok.
sexy.
These folks come from the. What was it?
Just I don't know. I guess sewer is a good word. That this was
They
the
come from the
lowest of the
sewers
low.
of TikTok, right?
Yeah. MAGA, you're not bringing your best. If they're
Nope.
worse than clickbait, we got a problem. We got a big problem here. So we better buckle up for 2024.
Tell 'em, man.
Everybody get out there and vote. Vote is
Tell
so
'em.
important. Okay, I heard my bell. I heard my bell.
All right.
Thank
all right.
you.
All right. You're well.
Y'all
And
have
thank
a
you
good
for
day.
the update. I appreciate it. Ladies
Yes,
and gentlemen,
there
let's
you
give it
go.
up to the beautiful Ann. All right. One of the best. Hey. Thank you, Ann. Let's go. Let's go. I mean, like I've said to these Trump supporters, there's nothing that you can ever say to Zeus to change my belief system. All right. So if you think you're getting into my box and somehow you're transforming my mind, I got bad news for you, MAGA. You're not doing that. You're just wasting your breath. All right. That's number one. And then number two, nobody really believes you. The MAGA movement is getting smaller every single day. Donald Trump's base hasn't grown. Go look at the research. It's getting smaller. That's why Trump is pressing you all so hard. He's squeezing you for every little bit of money he can get out of you because there's not enough people to squeeze now. So those of you who continue to believe him, you're going to have to give more. Trust me, I know this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm an expert at this. All right, let's bring up our next panelist, Nutty Professor. Oh, what's that? Nutty, are you there?
Of course, I'm representing the Detroit Lions. Man, come on, Doc. Come on, don't turn into the very thing that you're preaching against. Don't turn into a MAGA demon. So anyway, so it's really sad.
I thought you said that you were going to support the Niners.
I am. No, I am indeed in the Super Bowl because I hate the Kansas City Chiefs. But
okay, well,
but that's still I'm still not going to put their logo on my timestamp, dude. I'm a Detroit Lion. Get over it. Get over it, sir.
This is that demon force I'm talking about. They just don't stop when they know they should. But all right, go for it, Nutty. It's your world.
Then if that's a demon, then God bless me. Then God bless me. So you know it's bad when Ange will take Snuggles and Clickbait and all these other beautiful people over one guy. That's really bad. That's really bad. That's
Were
really
you
bad.
there? Were you there when this?
I was not.
Okay.
I seem to miss all the fun.
Right. Same here.
I seem to miss all the fun, but maybe it's because I'm a progressive, and progressives don't work. I don't know. I was at a
cut
fake.
It out, Nutty.
I was at a fake job.
Oh, okay.
I was at a fake job that gives me fake money.
It was bad, Xena. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Well,
I would have loved to have seen that. I hope she recorded it so I can watch it. But what's interesting is that these people, they're still doubling down on Donald Trump.
Yeah.
When he is clearly telling them what's going on. He is now out campaigning and he's telling y'all, he's like, I told them not to vote for this bill that's coming out of the Senate. Mike Johnson is on record saying that he talks to Donald Trump on a daily basis and that Donald Trump told them not to support this bill, this immigration bill coming out of the Senate.
Right.
So I ask, why is that? Why is that? They want to get in your TikTok live and they want to say, I'm trying to protect the border.
Nope.
If you're trying to protect the border, instead of getting on TikTok saying you're trying to protect the border, I think you need to pick up the phone and call your congressman. or call a congressman and tell them to do the job of the American people. And once that bill
Amen.
comes out of the Senate, they need to debate that bill and then send it over to the president. Because the president has clearly said, okay, you Magites, I will give you what you want. You send me the bill, I will sign it, and I will close the border right now. He literally said that.
And they don't want to do it, right?
They haven't done it, and they're not going to because it's not going to pass because it's not going to go anywhere once it gets to the House. So I ask MAGA, to what end? To what end? You complain about the economy, which we know the economy is doing great. You
Yep.
complain about immigration and open borders, but a bipartisan bill with solutions have emerged and your leader says no. You complain about egg prices when we know egg prices are down.
Tell them, Nutty.
Bread. You complain about milk when we know that the president doesn't control the price of groceries or gas. You complain. You live to complain. So
They're a bunch of crybabies.
They are. And before I leave, I want to channel the inner spirit of former President John Fitzgerald Kennedy.
Oh, go for it.
Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. And here's the thing.
Tell them, Nutty. That's American history.
Over 55 years after he made that statement, I have an answer.
What's that?
You can get your nasty behinds out to the poll and vote against Donald Trump.
Huh?
That is the best thing you can do for your country. Vote against Donald Trump. We all know that the Republican Party is not going to put a brown woman in the White House. We already know this. So
They want to make it look like they will, though.
Oh gosh, no. And you know what? This funny thing is, Nikki knows. She knows. Just like Tim Scott knows. He knew he didn't stand a chance in hell. But he wanted to make himself feel good and say, I ran for president. So he can get out there and acting like Uncle Buck, clowning for Donald Trump.
No lies detected.
And one more thing for Nikki Haley. Since America is not a racist country, then why don't you use your real name, Nikki? Because we know your real name is not Nikki. Why don't you use the name that your parents gave you?
Yeah.
Which is very Indian.
Nikki.
Which is very Indian that I can't even pronounce because, their names are long.
Right.
They're hard to pronounce.
Right.
But since America's not racist, Nikki, why are you using a white person's name?
Nikki Haley, right?
Nikki Haley. You know good and well, your name ain't no Nikki Haley. Well, it is now because you changed it. But you know good and well, your name ain't no Nikki Haley. So, with that being said, Zeus, have a wonderful day and take a look to enjoy this view.
Oh, I will, but not that view right there. Please change your profile picture or your PFP. Change it ASAP, Nutty.
It's not gonna happen, brother. Not gonna.
And then, as far as I'm concerned, you can keep your so-called support that you were offering for the Niners. Keep it to yourself, champ.
Well, I'm still gonna root for them because I really hate the Kansas City Chiefs that much.
You're not. No, you're not. You're worse than an infidel.
Yeah, no, that's the MAGA demons. But have a great day, buddy. Have a great day.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to Nutty Professor, one of the bad boys of the kingdom. One of the bad boys. Bad boys, what you gonna do? Hey, what you gonna do when they come for you? What you gonna do, nigga? Yeah, a lot of these Trump supporters, they don't want to they don't want to have a conversation with Zeus anymore. They say I'm too mean, but that's all right. I'd rather be mean and right than to be wrong and in prison. All right. Good morning, Shay. How are you?
Good morning. How are you? How's everybody in the kingdom?
Oh, we are doing great. And you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for asking.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so this is the trucker convoy.
That's it.
That's
Where? How many people is that? Like 1,700 right there? Is that?
Oh, yeah, something like 17, I think, something like that. I don't know.
Oh, it's glitching. I guess the live is
Oh,
glitching
is
is
it?
what they're saying.
Oh, is
Yeah,
it? Oh,
I've been
okay.
seeing that too.
Standing on my side. Yeah, so yeah, it's kind of funny because even my husband was asking me that question. He goes, "Do you think after January 6th and all the people that have gone to jail for doing all this stuff, do you think that'll like tamper down any real risk of the CW and things like that?" And I was like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, I think so. I definitely think that whether they believe that they stand up
Tamashi.
against the government and the government's going to persecute them, or they got a freaking clue that it's actually not worth." Doing those
All
things
right.
because you risk
Yeah.
freedoms and away from your family and things like that. So yeah, I mean, by evidence, yeah, that's not it. That's not going to work.
Good morning. Yeah.
Plus, it come to find out the guy that was organizing that, he actually ran a GoFundMe and then took all the money and canceled the event.
Wow.
So yeah, so a lot of fraud going on, and that's that Christ Army or whatever, those Christians.
The God's Army.
Yeah, the God's
Is that a taco truck right there? It looks like a taco truck.
It's actually the big bus, the Trump campaign bus. I guess I don't have the whole thing in there, but it's that big Trump bus that you see them going in. Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's got a big
Wow.
American flag on it, very
But look at- but-
magnified.
But look in between. Behind that white pickup truck. That looks like a food cart. Is that a food cart? Am I seeing things?
Oh yeah, it kind of does. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I think so. They got to eat some tacos to satiate themselves as they head down to the southern border.
Oh, wait a second now. How you
Yeah.
eating tacos, but you have a problem with the migrants? That don't make sense.
Well, that's a
right?
good question, Zeus. That's a good question. They don't want them
Wow.
working here, but they want them to make food for them. I don't know.
Can't make this stuff up.
Kind of strange when you think about it. But yeah, that live that Angie was in, I was in that live, and it was it was bad when he said he wanted to take away the 19th Amendment. I think we all about lost our heads, especially Jessica. I was like, oh, God bless you. And it was that was a lot. So yeah, watch out. There's a whole group of them going around. And then this morning, we were hanging out at Southern Libs Live, and in came these wonderful little Gen Zers, that just are so, so upset about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict and
Oh my God! Really?
and war and oh yes, and they're not going to vote for Trump or Biden. They're going to go third party. And I was like, well, which third party? So yeah, that was a fun discussion. Way too early this morning. I was like, oh, you poor things. Education's important. Yeah.
Yep.
And
Wow.
yeah.
I mean, I'm noticing it. I don't know about you, but a lot of the folks who call themselves leftists, right? I'm noticing that they tend to be, hanging out with MAGA quite a bit, right? What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, there may be some of that, but they're just very confused. Like what one of them was claiming is that Joe Biden has denied funding to the Palestinians, and so attacking, pulled it up and basically said that is not true. He actually sent funding in 2021, 2022, 2023, and then she pulled up an article last week about how U.S. and 8 other countries has canceled funding to a Palestinian UN organization, right? And I said,
I've heard about that.
Right. And I said, but what you're not understanding is that particular UN organization was defrauding the money. They weren't using the money correctly and pocketing it. So that's why these 8 countries have stopped sending it to that specific charity or UN organization. It doesn't mean they've stopped funding Palestine or the Palestinian state or Gaza Strip. So... But, they're headline hoochies. They don't have a lot of, education. Sometimes they're very passionate young people, and I get it. But they don't know the world stage because they're young and they just hear these stories and they see these things and they don't know the actual.
But you know what, Shay? I thought about that, right? And this, this might not be the right space to talk about it, but where I'm at right now is this. A lot of these people out here that believe this stuff, they're at an age now where they should be able to, think critically, right?
Yeah.
And when you see people aligning with Osama bin Laden, you see this stuff?
Yeah.
They're saying, "Oh, we understand now what Osama bin Laden was saying," and they take their side over the United States side. I can't help but wonder what's really going on. Is this really a lack of understanding, or is this somebody who's completely off, just off their rocker? And that's kind of where I'm at with a lot of these folks, whether they're what do they call on the left or on the right. To me, it's really truth or not, right? Do you believe the truth or do you not? Because I think I can find some people on the right that believe the truth, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
They know where the United States should stand when it comes to our foreign policy. They know what it is. And then you just got these folks out here who don't have a clue. I can't take them serious.
I know, and I just sit here and I just go, but you don't understand. You're not going to take the time, because the problem with the Gen Z generation, because I'm raising them as well, is that they want everything fast and quick, because that's what they've grown up with, right? They're very fast and quick
Microwaves.
information, right? You can access it at the fingertips. You can find out things, right? So what they're not going to do is read history of the Palestinian-Israeli conflict. They're not going to read the history of World War II. They're not going to understand on the world stage. So those of us that grew up in the generation of where we lived through it, we had to do research papers. We had to go to read several books to comprise what we were trying to say to back up our points. These kids are like, Google, boom, and up comes all the images, all the this and all the that. And so they just see that view, that world view, and they're not willing to dig into it. And so every time I talk to them about it, it's kind of like, takes me back to my days of teaching these young, beautiful people. But they don't want to take the time. Even, my wonderful son that's in college, he's like, Mom, just give me what's the quick answer? I'm like, what do you mean, what's a quick answer?
Ain't no quick answer.
Go read this. Mom, I don't have time for that. Well,
so you got a social life.
Oh, yeah.
They got a social life? Then you got time.
Easy, because that's their generation. So that's what we're dealing with. If you want my honest truth, it has nothing to do with their intellectual abilities. It's just that they grow up in the world of, I just want it quick and I don't want to take the time. And so they can be easily manipulated by, both sides of the argument.
Yep.
So, and that is a problem. So
I agree.
Yep.
Whether they're on the left or the right, whatever they call themselves, right? I don't even believe they're able to diagnose what side of the aisle they're on at this point. A lot of these folks, like you said, they're just emotional.
They are. And so it's kind of scary, but I do think that they're very much into helping people, though. So they're definitely not growing up to be selfish. And so I like that. They definitely are thinking about the world around them and taking care of people and people's rights. So I think in the end, they do lean more liberal than they do conservative. But, so to be honest with you, that's really what's going on, with that generation. So, but the last,
fair enough.
Yeah. The last thing I thought it was funny that, Trump put on Truth Social that he said that this is the Trump stock market because my polls against Biden are good, and that investors are projecting that I will win and that I will drive the market up and everything is terrible. Watch the Middle East, record-setting inflation I'm just like, this man at first said that Biden would crash the economy and the stock market. Well, it hit another high today, 38. And so now he's like, that's my stock market. That's my stock market. That's my stock market.
Yeah. He sees it. He knows. And like I said, the more he cries, the more Biden solves his problems, right?
Yeah.
And it's starting to become hilarious. Like, go ahead, cry about something else and let Biden fix it.
Keep crying. He's like, don't pass that border bill. I didn't need a comprehensive border bill to do the wall. I didn't need it. You don't need it. It's going to make you look bad, Republicans. That's what he said on True Social.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
I didn't have that border package because I didn't actually do anything for the border. So don't do anything for the border because it could make me look bad.
No, we're gonna address all of your complaints, Mr. Former President. That way, when you have nothing to campaign on, right?
That's so true. All right, my friend, I'm way over time. It was a pleasure to talk to you as usual.
All right, you as well, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give it up to the beautiful Shay. Hey, hey, let's go. Yes, yeah, but Shay, you did bring up a very good point. It's really at a point now where I can't take a lot of these folks on TikTok serious, because when you start drilling down on what it is they understand and what they know, you start to realize there's really nothing there. I know that to be true with a lot of these Trump supporters, right? Like you said, they're not patient enough. They lack the ability to actually learn, right? Learning is a lifelong commitment one must make. One must also, in order to actually ace the class and actually do good, you actually have to understand the material. You have to be able to teach the material and make sure that you actually are respected within the community, whatever it is that you're disciplined. Every Trump supporter that I have spoken with lacks the ability to do that. And a lot of the folks that I speak to who brand themselves as I'm a leftist, when we really drill down and listen to what you're saying and we start trying to, analyze what you're standing for, it all comes crashing down, right? And they say this, Shay, because you did raise a valid point. You might have a good heart and you might intend well, but there's an old saying, this comes from wisdom, right? The road to the path to destruction is paved with good intentions, right? And so I say that because a lot of people don't understand that sometimes you mean well, but you're causing more harm, right? And that's why you want to be grounded in whatever it is that you are saying you are behind, right? And that means you got to take the good and the bad that comes with it. But a lot of these folks, and I'm going after those who are saying they're leftists, they don't want to take the bad that comes with trying to do the good. And this is what we're saying. This is why I'm probably, if they think about it, I'm probably more extreme than they are. Go figure that out, right? Zeus is more extreme than some of the leftists, and he's definitely extreme to the folks on the right, all right? But when we get down to it, you understand why. I can explain my position on a lot of things. You can't. And an answer, I'm going to be honest with you. When you find yourself saying, well, I feel, I've never passed a class in my life where that gave me an A on the test. Never. See, a lot of these folks, they don't know what it's like to actually fail and still have to keep trying. All right. And this is to me why I don't take a lot of you seriously. Like what have you gone through in life that makes you believe what you believe is true? What have you really gone through? Give me something that you've experienced that just really made you feel like life was harder to bear. And a lot of you youth, a lot of the folks that are young out there, I'm not minimizing any of your experiences, but that's a question I want you to really think about. This is why I respect President Biden, because I know for a fact a man at his age has gone through a lot of things, right? And it's to me fascinating that all the loss that Biden has experienced in his lifetime, this man still strives to be a positive person, still strives to learn from his mistakes. Even at his age, he's still making an effort. If he got it wrong, he's still going to try to make an effort to get it right. This is why I respect President Biden. I'm not saying he's perfect. No human on this planet is perfect. Listen, I've been around 40 plus years. I've never met a perfect human being. I've never met one, so let's not even play that game. But the difference between him and a lot of other people is he doesn't make excuses. I don't want nobody, this is just me personally, I don't want anybody in the White House that is constantly unable to take ownership, take accountability for what they are supposed to do. You volunteered, Donald Trump. You volunteered to run to be president. So when we ask for accountability, I don't like that you want to pass it off on to other people. And the fact that he even passes it on to his supporters, it's disgusting. What's more disgusting is that his supporters They let them do it. All right. So to all the people out there that have a so-called political opinion about what's happening in this country, I really want you to ask yourself, why do you believe what you believe in? Number one, and then number two, are you willing to take the heat for believing in that? Because if you're not, then you might want to get out of this. All right. Let's open up these boxes and hear from the rest of you. I know we got a couple of more. All right, Devontae. Good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning, friend. How are you doing today?
I'm all right. I'm all right. Just another day in the kingdom tending to the affairs. I know there's some glitches out here on TikTok, so I'm not worried about that. I'm going to still strive to deliver.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Sir. So I wanted to come up and talk to you about what the other lady was talking about, this generation. And a lot of us who voted blue, we understand what's at stake. We understand the fact that if we do not get this done, then the right is going to continue pushing hate bills. They are going to continue to spread misinformation. They're going to continue to spread lies. And we just cannot have that. Because if we let them keep doing what they are doing, this generation is going to be lost for good. Yeah. And what we want is, we want to change things. We don't want this right-wing nut jobs to have this space where they can continue spewing hate, attacking the minority communities. We want a place where it will be safe for the minorities to have a voice, to where they do not have to fear for their lives. Because it's not right for the minorities to continue to have to live in fear, because the Republicans who think that they're better than everyone else, who think that because this monster they call Donald Trump is this so-called God that they think is this whole thing, which he's not. And it's disgusting. It really is.
Yeah.
There's no reason for it. Absolutely zero. And I have a question for Republicans. If you think that you are tough, that you can hide behind your little Trump God who you claim to be this whole great person when he has 91 indictments on his behind, you continue to support that, you are extremely misguided. You are extremely ignorant.
Yeah.
And you have nothing. You're going to continue to live like that. And what us who vote blue are doing is we are changing the way people think. We are changing hearts and minds of the people. That's it. If they don't like it, they can leave. End of story.
I like it.
King Zeus is here to stay. Vote blue. Let's keep this going.
Amen. I'm with that program. I am with Devontae. I appreciate it.
Thank you, brother.
Cat in the background? Is that a cat in the background?
Yeah, my cat is being a pest right now.
No, that's fine.
Anyway, have a great day, Zeus.
All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to Devontae. No lies detected. Yeah. This is ladies and gentlemen, this is a real situation we got going on in this country. To me, the battle over facts versus misinformation is really what this is about. And like I said, hold on. Like I've been saying, eventually the truth will surface. All right. Good morning, Miss Boss Diva, my partner in crime. How are you doing?
Hey, good morning.
Hey, how are you doing?
I am feeling fantabulous. And
alrighty. I'm all right. Another day in the kingdom, tending to the affairs as usual.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Now, I have some very, very wonderful information to share.
Oh,
but my picture is a little big, and I didn't get a chance to resize it. But
okay.
I came across an article with the HUD website, right? Because I usually I'll see what Biden is doing on different fronts with his different departments. And basically it looks like the Biden-Harris administration awards $3.16 billion in homelessness assistance funding nationwide. So this will cover over 7,000 projects across the country. And so hopefully, it's aimed towards, the domestic violence and dating violence, stalking and sexual assault, victims or whatnot. But his aim consistently is to get the homeless problem or unhoused, I should say, unhoused epidemic as it is under control and trying to get people housed as much as possible. So it's unwavering for his administration to try to find other ways to fund and, really address the problem. Okay. So now it looks like that we have even more money geared and funded toward this problem. So, Biden came out of retirement to do one thing, and that was beat the brakes off of orange juice. Okay, and he really did do that. He absolutely did that, and really we was cool with that alone. But he ended up doing so much more. More than we can imagine, and his presidency is a profound legacy.
He's pretty underrated. He's underrated.
He's absolutely
for what he's been able to pull off.
And it's time to get more of this information out about Biden. More and more and more. I mean, I believe that, Trump is a focal point to a certain degree. But now we're getting in the thick of things where this election is this year. Okay? It's like 9 months, 10 months, whatever it is away. And the thing about it is that, every day that goes by that we don't execute the message of what he is actually doing, from the CHIPS Act to the PACT Act to infrastructure, and really like hammering those accomplishments home. That would really, really ensure for these younger generations, like Shay was saying, that all they want is a quick answer, right? Okay. All right. If that's the case, then, which I can understand why they want it, the information age, right? Technology has taken us to a whole nother plateau. So,
But what happened? Folks that like that fast money, right? What happens to them?
Well, it doesn't end well. And they lose everything ultimately in the end,
You got to work for it.
You do have to work for it. You do. But then, there's others that will, help you along, that road. And I'm thinking for those people, you can say, hey, okay, this is where it is. Here's the paragraph. Read it now. What do you think? To have a discussion real time, like right in the moment. Because if you, procrastinating on Gen Z is like not a good idea.
Right.
You got to deal with them right away, like right at the moment. So, I mean, that's just one of the things that he's been doing. And this is recent. So, yesterday he just, announced this. So that's what I'm saying. I mean,
I'm looking at it. Yeah. I mean, to me, when I see stuff like this is a grant awards over 7,000 projects.
That's right. Across the continuum of, the United States. You know what I mean? It affects everybody.
Yeah, but let's break that down. What this means is there's going to be jobs opening for folks to implement these grants, right? So I would like to see some of the youth going after those jobs and helping to get these programs off the ground with their bright ideas, right? To me,
that's right.
This is real boots on the ground. This is how you build up your resume, right?
Right.
Show that you are actually putting your hands on the plow and doing the work that you're out here saying matters.
Exactly.
Just stop crying about what President Biden is doing. Biden will be gone.
It's like be a part of the solution and not a part of the problem.
Bingo.
If you are going to complain about a certain area of society, then, it is absolutely up to you. You are absolutely, obligated to, take it on. Take on, most of the issue, all of the issue, some of the issue. But like you said, Zeus, participate in the solution, because that's the only way that it will get dealt with or addressed or acknowledged and basically ultimately solved. So that's where we need to go with this. Okay.
Yeah.
And so that's what Biden Harris administration is absolutely doing. They're solving a ton of problems, just like you just mentioned about the border. Biden said, hey, do what you got to do. I'll sign it and I'll do what I got to do for that border right now. It's not a thing but a chicken wing. When you guys want to make it seem like it's just, this molehill is such a huge mountain. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. And while in the meantime, while y'all tripping off all of that, there's people that's suffering. There's absolutely people that's suffering here in this country on this land.
And you could be doing something to help those people.
Using
Just
that
sitting
energy
online,
to help
yeah.
those people as opposed to, draining the energy for something negative and it's not going to be beneficial,
Yeah.
fruitful, or anything for anyone, including
Yeah.
yourself. And
Yep.
you and your
I'ma start
family.
asking.
You never know. Everybody is a paycheck away. Look at what Trump has destroyed. And everything he touched, he is definitely
boss.
destroyed. Right?
Yep.
We got the lumpy pillow man. He crying because he lost his entire empire. He started from sleeping in a car. And he gonna go right back to where he started from because he made all of these choices not to help people, but to destroy what it was. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Everything that he was involved, it was just crazy. So that's what I mean. That's what I mean. And yes, it is the man in the mirror. Take a look at yourself and find out where you can make a change. Stop making all these excuses and do what you need to do.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So that's it for me. I mean, that's what I
love it. Thank you so much, Miss Boss Diva. That to me is a good thing, and I'm glad you brought up the Biden-Harris administration awards $3.16 billion in homelessness. Yes, in homelessness assistance funding to communities nationwide. Every leftist on this app, I expect you to be putting job applications in to get those jobs. I want to see boots on the ground, Miss Boss Diva. You did God's work this morning.
That's what we do. That's what we do,
right.
Zeus. We have to make sure that we put in this God's work only for the truth and nothing but the truth.
Exactly.
So help us all.
Amen. Amen.
But anyway, I love you, Zeus. I will see you out on these TikTok streets, baby.
I will. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank
let's
the
give it up
kingdom.
to the...
Much love to y'all.
All right, Miss Boss Diva. One of the band members. Hey. Thank you, Miss Boss Diva. Yes, that is a good bit of information. Every leftist that I've heard on this app crying and complaining about solving homelessness. $3.16 billion nationwide. This means grant money from the federal government is going to be redistributed all across this country. Please, I'm going to start asking you. I get it. You're upset about the conflict going on over there in the Middle East, but we need some real immediate solutions to the crisis here at home. Please turn in that application, your resume, get it sharp. If you need help getting it polished, reach out to Zeus. I'll help you. Get those resumes in and let's start providing relief to these folks that need our help. All right? No excuses. None. All right? Listen, I'm big on accountability. I'm very big on accountability just because, listen, we could be relatives, we could be blood, but I'm gonna still need some accountability out of your behind, okay? Because ain't nobody getting a free ride around here. All right? And that's just how the cookie crumbles. Oh, look at who we have here, ladies and gentlemen. Speaking of cookies crumbling, good morning, Snuggles.
Good morning. How you doing, bro?
Oh, I'm doing all right. How are you? I haven't seen you for a while. Are you okay? I know ever since E. Jean Carroll won that money,
That'll be
Are you
overturned. That's okay. I'm just out there for that.
No, but I mean, are you back into politics now? Because last time we checked in, you were saying you weren't going to be in politics anymore because both of them were.
I'm still in politics because the ignorance on the left, they don't care about Tara Reid. Mm-hmm. So, but I'm going to go ahead and just vote. So who cares, right?
Okay, so what is? Still misinformation, Snuggles. All right, what is it? What is it?
Is Tara Reid misinformation?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah.
Can you
gotta
elaborate?
Where is she at right
elaborate.
now? Where is she at right now?
She was scared out of her mind. She went to the DOJ. She went to all the 3-letter words. She went everywhere. She went to the Me Too movement. The director.
When you say three,
they threw her out like a piece of trash, like Trump did to E. Carroll.
When you say 3-letter words, did you also mean KGB?
See how you just throw it in the garbage?
I'm just asking.
Right? She was sexually assaulted, and you approve of it, and you
no.
Oh, what? What?
So
you don't care about her?
Did she get a settlement from Biden?
No, they were not working with her.
I love it when you say
no, because they're in the pockets of the DOJ. That Trump exposed you and your government and your corruption. Because nobody gets in trouble on this side. Can you please elaborate why no Democratic Party senators or anybody gets in trouble?
Because it's quite simple.
Yeah, because we didn't get the Epstein list yet. Just wondering how many Democratic Party senators are on that list.
Let me answer your question.
What?
In order to get in trouble, you got to break the law.
Right.
If you don't break the law, you don't get in trouble. If you're in the
pockets of the police and the mob-like mentality, you could break the law, like the Democrats are doing. You're breaking the law.
Name one. Name one law.
We can't because they're all paid off.
Can you please name one law for the American people out here? Snuggles, there's people out here that are listening, and I hear you come from a very far place called Magaville, and there are folks out here that believe what you're saying.
Yeah, listen,
so please, what law have the Democrats broken and gotten away with? Please.
Let's try bringing Trump down illegally.
What? Okay, so what? A witch hunt?
Yeah, your witch hunt.
Okay. And so which law?
Everything that you're accusing Donald Trump for is what you're actually doing.
Okay.
Classified documents.
I was going to go there. Let's talk about those. So violating the Espionage Act and not returning those classified documents.
Right. That's what Biden did, and that's what Biden did when he was senator and when he was.
Well, can I ask this question? Your time's up. But listen, I want to ask this question. Why do you think Trump took the classified documents to begin with?
The same reason why Biden did.
Why?
Do we know what classified documents Biden took?
I haven't heard yet.
Can you tell me why Nara didn't know about Biden?
But I know Donald.
Can you tell me why Biden? Because you're a Democrat, so you know this stuff. Can you tell me why Biden Nara didn't know Biden had the stuff?
I can't explain it yet. I gotta wait.
Right. So he broke the law, but we can't explain that. You haven't talked about that because all you do is talk about Trump.
Right. The report.
Right. So then they're both breaking the law, Trump and Biden. But you guys want to. That's how Biden is getting away with his crimes. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
And you have no explanation on it.
Snuggles, it was nice.
Thank you so much. Democrats, get those knee pads ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, you know who he is. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the struggler. We call him Snuggles, right? He has no ability to connect dots. He makes absolutely no sense. And he's a permanent victim. You know who he is.
Struggle pancakes, struggle honey buns, struggle in the way. Yeah, he's a struggler.
He's a struggler. Yeah, you know, he won't answer the question about why Donald Trump took those nuclear secrets and whatever else he had. He won't answer those questions. But I was hoping he would say, well, the FBI came to Trump and told him to take those documents, and so they were setting them up. But he won't say that. So, Snuggles, I don't know what to say. But the report for Biden and his classified documents situation hasn't came out yet, right? So we can't jump to any conclusions. But you can go read Jack Smith's indictment on Donald Trump, all right, and you'll find out why Donald Trump is being criminally charged, prosecuted, right? And the investigation goes way back before the indictment, right? They were trying to get him to return the documents for a while, and he didn't do it. All right? And then we found out he was sharing this information with other folks that he shouldn't have been over some Coca-Colas. You know he was on drugs while he was doing it, Snuggles. All right? And cut it out. All right, let's bring up our next panelist, ladies and gentlemen. You know what we came to do. Oh, my goodness. Oh, we have another treat. Ladies and gentlemen, the guy that likes to dog walk, the guy that likes to dog walk himself.
Dog walk himself. You're the one that thinks the KGB still exists, bro. You just proved it. But you also proved your ignorance. Because isn't it funny how you're going to sit here and say E. Jean Carroll, the 83.3 million, but you're gonna brush off people like Tara Reid?
What am I doing wrong, Rusky?
Why are you brushing her off? Don't you believe all victims?
If they're a victim, absolutely.
So when
Do you believe?
somebody's story is consistent, oh no, no, wait up,
Jesus
bro.
Christ, he can't contain himself. You see how these demons get in my box? They just rant and rave. Now, Rusky, I'm really trying to talk to you, but you're gonna have to contain yourself. All right? You came in here with all kinds of names and insults. I
It's
get
nothing
it.
I don't call you on a daily basis, and you.
Listen. I get it that you're obsessed with Zeus. All right, but I really just need you to simmer down. All right,
I'm
simmer down.
simmering
We'll have.
down.
We'll listen. We will have a conversation, but I need you to simmer down. You're doing the same thing clickbait does. Now, clickbait's getting better. Clickbait's gotten better. All right. All right. So if we're gonna talk,
All right, let's have
let's
an
talk.
actual conversation without all your
Okay. If we're
side
gonna
stuff
talk, okay.
because you
If we're
don't
gonna
like it.
talk, Jesus Christ. If we're gonna talk, Rusky.
You called. What can I do?
All right.
Oh, what's
You
up?
want to put you want me to put you on mute, or you want to do it to yourself? All right. So you asked me a question about believing all victims, right?
Sure.
Okay. Do you also subscribe to that same philosophy on your side? Because I can openly say yes, I do believe all victims.
Do you though?
Do you?
Yeah. But let me
Okay.
ask you this: what are the conditions on you believing them?
We have to have evidence. That's how this works.
Okay, so when someone's story is consistent for years, what makes the evidence any different? What evidence did Eugene have?
Well, apparently, she had enough to have been found for Donald Trump to have been found liable of SA in her, right?
No.
Defamation. That's how the first judgment happened.
Yes.
No. In there, they also indicated that he was liable for, doing the graping. Go read it yourself, right? So I'm from the land of this. We got to have docket numbers. You got to have court cases. You got to have a shot at justice, and then whatever happens by a jury of your peers, it is what it is, whether you like it or not. That's how this country operates. I haven't seen anything like that with Tara Reade.
Let me ask you a question. So when you're talking about a civil court case, what does it take to win a civil court case?
Well, you need to have enough evidence, right?
What is it called?
And then you need to have the judgment, right?
What is that called, though, Zeus?
You tell me. What are you missing? What are you missing?
What do you need to win a civil court case?
Rusky, I'm really trying to get through this as quick as possible. Just say what you're trying to say.
The preponderance of evidence.
Okay.
Meaning 51%. The likelihood that somebody thinks you might be guilty, the keyword being might. It is not like a criminal trial.
Okay, I get that. But let me ask you this. Are you saying the judges and the jury got this wrong with Eugene Carroll? They're all wrong?
I'm saying it's a civil trial. It's completely different than a criminal case.
Okay, but you didn't answer my question. I understand the difference between a civil and a criminal case. That's irrelevant. Do you think in the civil case that Donald Trump just basically was found, well, he lost it a while ago, but they just actually gave a judgment against him for the $83 million. Do you think they all got it wrong?
What is a civil case that somebody then actually matter is what I'm trying to point out to you, Zeus. Take that MSM out of your brain because you're just repeating talking points that are all over regular state media.
Well, listen, I gotta go. All right, Rusky,
of course you gotta go because you're getting proved wrong again. Dog walk once more on your own show with facts. Jesus Christ, bro.
All right, Rusky. All right,
Urkel. I'll see you on a.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give Rusky what he deserves. Oh my God. I know.
Silence! You never demon!
It's real easy, ladies and gentlemen, to deal with these folks. I just gave them the leash and I said, have a blast. And that's what Rusky did. I mean, I'm glad, Rusky, that you actually, calm down for once. I get it when you get in the box with Zeus, you just want to do it all, but I'm glad you just calmed down, Rusky, and let us kind of get a peek into what's really going on upstairs. I really do appreciate that, but you got a lot of work to do, Rusky. And I'm saying that with the utmost respect. All right. Good morning, attacking. All right.
Yeah. Okay, hold on here for a second.
Good morning. Yeah. What do you
Okay,
got for us
well,
this morning?
for you ignorant fucks,
Oh, attacking! What in the world is
I will
going
take
on?
the punishment for that. Thank you very much. E. Jean Carroll, the difference between E. Jean Carroll and Tara Reid, and E. Jean Carroll also got unaliving threats, but she didn't run. She also didn't change her story. And a libel case was a criminal case. You're not going to jail with a libel case, but you're still held accountable for the damages that you caused a person or a place or thing. So you are held liable financially for hurting somebody. E. Jean Carroll told her friend, there was 11 witnesses. If you read the court case, it was a unanimous decision from the 9 jurors, 6 men, 3 women, 2 Trump supporters, for the $5 million case. Now, in regards to the defamation case, Snuggles, flush your head down the toilet where it belongs, because it is not going to be overturned. He defamed her. You have the text messages and the audio tapes and him calling her out, calling her names. That's not going to be overturned. And by the way, he has to put up the $83 million plus 9% is being added to the balance that is still left owing. So it's going to be in the $100 million range that he pays her. So he cannot do an appeal unless he puts money up front, just like with the $5 million case. Now, Tara Reid, her brother said she was lying. She changed her story every time that she was being talked to by a reporter. And she didn't go to the DOJ and all these departments. She had no evidence. Her attorneys dropped her. And Snuggles, I sent you the link to her letter to Putin that she basically says, oh, America, once they find out that you're a great man, will come around and support you. She ran, Snuggles, because she didn't have any information. She didn't have any evidence. She didn't have any proof. And the difference between Trump and Biden is that Joe Biden says every woman needs to be heard and respected. Donald Trump attacked every woman that came out, and he degraded them. Donald Trump, Snuggles, said at a rally, did you see her? She wouldn't be my first choice, which means that he would do it if he picked somebody good looking enough for him to assault. So again, flush your head down the toilet. In regards to the documents, Pence and Biden have been cleared. They've already been investigated and cleared. He can have the Senate documents. And by the way, Executive Order 13526 that President Obama wrote, vice presidents can have documents, declassify them as well. So unless you get an education, shut the fudge up, because you're a sick, immoral, unethical person that's just doing this for bits and pieces that you get tokens from. Shut the F up. You're an unethical fucking person, and you're doing it on purpose.
Listen up, Dana. You too. I see you out there.
My God.
Take this advice, MAGA.
Holy cow, what's wrong with you people? You don't give a darn about E.G. Carroll or Tara Reid.
They don't.
You're just doing this so you can get little hearts and tokens sent to you. You don't give a darn.
You don't.
You lie.
Evil.
You think, oh, it's not criminal. So, oh, he put his fingers in her Yahoo. Big deal. It's not criminal. So you're putting a barrier on what you think is acceptable for assaulting women. Oh, excuse me,
Sick.
woman at the bar. I'm going to stick my fingers in your Yahoo. Don't charge me criminally. Charge me civilly, and it's okay. What an ignorant fuck. Oh, sorry.
Thank you, attacking.
I'm sorry. I apologize for everybody in the group.
Don't let them get you worked up. These folks are deranged.
I'm not
They're
worked
evil.
up. I'm not worked up. The thing is, I'm sick of them purposely lying about something. How can you do this ethically and morally? What kind of person are you that you have to always lie?
They're inside. They're evil. They're probably just as guilty as Donald Trump. That's why Rusky got up here and defended it the way that he did. You know, when these folks get up here and they start defending it, I say to myself, they're just guilty of whatever it is Donald Trump is doing. That's why they're defending it.
I don't have to lie for Joe Biden. I don't have to lie.
Yes, Rusky. Yes, Rusky, you are guilty of it then. That's why you're defending it.
My God.
Did I miss something?
I've sent you proof of her lawyers dropping her, Snuggles. I sent you proof to her letter she wrote to Putin. I sent it to Zeus. What's wrong with you people?
They're guilty. They gotta be. Listen, attacking. I gotta move it on, my brother.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, guys.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to Brother Attacking. No lies detected. One of the bad boys in the kingdom. Bad boys, what you gonna do? Rusky! When they come for you, when you were and factories, you go to school and learn to go. Bye, Rusky. So why are you acting like a bloody? Bye, Dana. Anybody, listen up. Any of you Trump supporters, Rusky, Snuggles, Jimmy, I can't believe I'm saying your name, Dana, J Bear, any of you who refuse to acknowledge that Donald Trump is, as the courts have found him, an adjudicated rapist, all right, who's been fined $90 million. If you are still making excuses for that, as far as I am concerned, you are only doing it because somewhere in your soul it applies to you, and you feel like that this is also an attack on you. Because if it wasn't an attack on you, there's just no way you would be defending it like this. And you can try to, say, oh, well, I'm just pointing out your hypocrisy, Zeus, all you want to. I'm not going for that. Cut it out. Good morning, Takesha. How are you doing?
I'm not feeling my best this morning, Zeus.
Uh-oh. Are you okay?
My back tearing me up. But listen.
Uh-oh. Get some rest now.
Zeus, who was that sucker duck that came up before attacking?
Rusky. His name is Rusky.
He need to have several seats, Zeus. I wasn't even going to get on till I heard the ridiculousness that was coming out of his mouth with those lame excuses. Why are they still talking about this liable case? Because the man has been found liable. The judge said he did, in fact, grape E. Jean McCarroll. Now, granted, she probably didn't feel it, because that's what Melania Trump said every night after 10 during the marriage. We can't help it because, even though he penetrated her, she didn't know if he penetrated her or not, because you know how small it is. But nevertheless, that doesn't mean that he did not assault this young lady. If he would shut up and go away, a lot of this stuff with him would not be happening. But he keep on slapping that Gorilla Glue on that toupee, pressing on his head, and coming out with all this foolishness.
Yeah.
Now, Snuggles, let me tell you, you my friend, I love you. But Snuggles, when a woman say that she was done like she was by biting, like Tara said, there is no way she gonna tuck her tail and run. She gonna make sure that she get it out there what she did, and she's gonna fight until the end. If she tuck her tail and run 9 times out of 10, that means she lying, baby. Stop taking up for Tara because you're making yourself look utterly ridiculous.
Facts.
Let that go.
Facts. No lies detected.
I just had to come up because I said, who is this sucker duck talking this foolishness? You know, I never saw his name before. What you say his name is again, baby?
Rusky Dusky 77, you know, like a 1970 something Ford Pinto, I think. That's why he calls himself Rusky.
Rusky Dusky. Rusky. That's supposed to be Rusky.
That's how he gets it, you know.
Not,
you know,
not Rusty, but Rusky.
Rusky. You know, he goes to the bar.
Rusky on down the hill and don't come back up. Cut the crap.
Rusky Dusky.
Let's cut the crap. Tell Attack and stop getting so upset with these people. It don't matter what you say to them. They not going to believe it. They not going to listen. At the end of the day.
Yeah.
The one who's up there talking about graping animals. You's a real idiot, Rusky. You can't even spell your own name, so you know I'm not going to entertain you.
Go ahead, tell them.
At the end of the day, they're not going to believe anything. Even when everything comes out, they're going to have excuses for it. So the only thing we should be doing is just continue to push what Biden is doing out so everybody can know what he's done, what he's accomplished, and the things he's trying to get done. But like I said, Rusky on down that hill and don't come back up.
Bingo.
And that's all I had to say. I'm giving my back a little rest,
All right.
Because I haven't been on it. Probably need to be on it. That's probably what's wrong.
No, keep it
working out,
Tell them.
But I'm going to go on with this. I want y'all to have an awesome day.
All right. You too. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to the beautiful Takesha. One of the bad mamma jammies. Let's go. All right. Good morning, brother Swervin. How you doing, my good friend?
Good morning, Mr. Zeus is loose with the truth.
Amen. You know it. All right.
Lord, have mercy, sweet baby Jesus and grace.
One of the bad boys, brother Swerve. What do you got for us this morning?
Zeus, I'm gonna tell you, I was over at the VA this morning, and I got that just as your show was starting. And I'm sitting in the doctor's office waiting on him to come in, and the doctor comes in and he hears your voice, and you know what he said?
What's that?
He said, "Is that Zeus?"
Oh, really?
I said, "Yeah, that's him."
Yeah.
He goes, "What are you watching him on?"
Yeah.
I said, "TikTok." Oh man, for real, he's on TikTok? Because I only see his stuff on YouTube.
Oh, really?
And I was like, well, comment. Let him know you appreciate him.
Wow.
He's like, can we get in the box with him like right now? I said, Doc, I'm getting ready to turn this off, man. You're supposed to be giving me an exam. What the hell? He says, no, I'm messing with you. Leave it on. Let's listen. And so we listened till you throw out my exam, man. It was pretty cool.
Wow, thank you. That's amazing.
It was pretty cool. So you got a high roll out there backing you up.
Wow, I love it. I mean, I appreciate that. That's awesome. Thank you, brother Swerve. That's some good news.
You're welcome, my friend. You're welcome.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about Tara Reid for a moment. And I know this is a horse we beat to death. Not because she looks like a horse. It's just a horse we keep beating to death. Okay. Tara Reid told her story. We supposed to believe that this old, dotty, sleepy dementia patient slammed her against the walls of the Congress out in the public hallway where people were more than likely walking by in the middle of the day and, did what he did. Right. And remember, this is one of the most secure buildings in the world, and it's got cameras everywhere. Not any of this was ever caught on camera. And she changed up her story so many times, the prosecutors told her lawyers, like, look, this is 4 different stories she told us. What are you doing over here? And the lawyers went and told her, her lawyers went and told him, like, look, you keep talking to them, you keep changing your story, and we can't defend this. So they dropped her like third period French. And she claimed she was getting all these death threats from Joe Biden. Where were these threats at between, I think this happened in 1994. Where were these death threats between 1994 to 2021? Where were they? Nowhere. We didn't hear from her. She got dropped like third period French by her own attorneys. Her own family came. So dismiss me with the whole, well, we should believe all women and we should have believed Tara Reid. Tara Reid took off to Russia. And Rusky, your name ain't Rusky, it's Ruski. It's Ruski. I know how to read, doggone it. I can sound out words. Ruski. You ain't nothing but another Russian asset.
Oh!
Another Ruski bear. Ruski, das your comrade.
Oh, Ruski.
That means step off, Goofy.
Oh!
Your native language. And Zeus, the last thing I want to bring up, it's one small detail that everybody has overlooked with the last jury decision on Donald Trump. It's one small detail. $83.3 million. That is $1 for everybody that voted for Joe Biden.
Oh!
That jury just bought my vote.
Oh, wow.
And if I think, well, I don't know, what Joe Biden get, 81 million? I don't know.
Oh, my God.
Let's just say it was 75 cents or $1.25 for everybody that voted for Joe Biden. But they was like, you know what? Joe Biden.
Close enough.
They was like, you know what? That jury was like, you know what? Joe Biden gonna kick you in the nuts one more time.
Yeah. 2 extra million.
He gonna kick you right.
2 extra.
Yeah. He gonna kick you right between them. And we can get that money to E. Jean Carroll. And E. Jean Carroll and her lawyer were on CNN yesterday morning talking about what they were gonna do with the money.
What they gonna do with it?
E. Jean Carroll say, you know, we were thinking of turning Trump Tower into an animal sanctuary. I was like, okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
Just turn it into a 100-foot tall zoo, or however many floors it's got on it. A 220-story zoo. And up on the main floor, what used to be Donald Trump's penthouse, that's where they can put all the like alligators and crocodiles and, well, no, not the water animals, I take it back. That's where they can put the lions and the cheetah, because you know, that's a 35,000-foot square space up there, according to Donald Trump.
Good morning.
So they'll have all kinds of room for it. That's a 35,000 square foot place up there, according to Donald Trump's tax records. And so they should have all kinds of room up there for them. So yeah, let's do that, MAGA. Let's do that. We gonna and be glad, because we're doing it with MAGA's money and Trump's money. Because we know he's gonna pay Eugene Carroll, and y'all dummies gonna give him the money to replace it.
They do it. They is, ain't they? Tell them, Swerve.
Hell to the yay. They gonna give it all back to him. He ain't missing a beat. He ain't missing a beat. So they can miss me with the foolishness about gas prices and all this other garbage while they sitting there decked out in their Donald Trump gear with their Donald Trump wrap around a big Ford F-250 with the jacked up tires, and that thing got a Hemi. You can miss me with all that garbage. So anywho, Zeus, today is day 2 of my prep work for my colonoscopy tomorrow. So wish me luck. I got my seatbelt already attached to the toilet, and I'm ready to rock and roll.
Oh my God. All right. I love it. Well, listen. Hey, listen. Health first. Health is wealth. I understand.
That's right. And to my friends and family down there in the kingdom, I love all you guys. Thank you for all the well wishes, especially with my father. I appreciate it. Zeus, I appreciate you. Y'all have fun, and doggone it, be safe while you do it.
All right. Let's go. Love you, Swerve. Brewski. What you gonna do when they come for you? The chuck it on down. Wow. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Ruski is a derogatory term for Russian. Wow, I didn't know that, but you know, there's something you learn every day, right? Thank you all for pointing out that we have the Russian bear in the kingdom. All right. Yeah. You see what I'm talking about? Jay Bear, Stacy Bear. A bunch of Russian operatives are now coming into the kingdom to try to defile it. Wow. Y'all must be getting real desperate. Let's move up and bring up our last guest, our good friend Dark.
Oh man, I thought you weren't gonna bring me up. I was asking, please bring me up. So
no. I'm just going in order. Let's go.
Okay. Well, I'm going to say this with all due respect, right?
Let's
I
go.
have a different approach. I'm not going to argue with MAGA anymore. You know
Okay.
what? I say it
What's
like
that?
this. I am a Republican. I will say that. I have no respect for any man who defiled a woman. And if you sit there, you somehow think you Trumpers from Snuggles and anyone else thinks that this crap is somehow okay. What he did, right? You are just insane as Donald Trump is. And the part that really messes me up, how do you defend this guy? You guys always pointing the finger at what Joe Biden's doing. See, my grandmother, she passed away 4 years ago, right? She was a
I'm
very
sorry to hear
wise
that.
woman. And she was a very wise woman. But you know my grandmother said? She
What's
says,
that?
my name is Demont. That's my real name. And she says, Demont, you know what? You're always pointing the finger at people, right? What about those three fingers that are always coming back at you? Those three fingers, you need to look at yourself deep down within and stop pointing the finger and look at other people's lives. And
Yep.
that is the bull crap that Donald Trump pulled. He pointed the damn finger at everybody else instead of actually looking at his own problems. Because I'll tell you right now, if I had 94 indictments, I'm being quiet.
Right.
Because you know what? At the end of the day, he's defiled a woman, he defamed her, and now he's got to pay more money. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And at the end of the
Yep.
day, this monster and this tyrant, I guarantee you, we will make sure. Because even if he doesn't go to prison, I think he needs to be in prison. But I would say this:
Yeah.
I think will hurt Donald Trump more than anything. That when he loses the election again by 83 some million votes, and he loses the way he did again, that's going to be worse than a prison cell for him. Because he wants this. He wants to get back in power so that he can destroy our country. Because I said this earlier down on my live stream when I had over 100 people in it, and I told him this.
Nice.
Donald Trump had a perfect economy handed to him on a silver platter.
Yep.
Right? He had everything perfect, a task force. He ripped that apart. And our country went into shambles because of this man. So you know what? To Snuggles and the last whatever the Russian bear, as you guys want to call him,
Ruski. Yeah, Ruski.
I call him Ruski. You know what? No, Ruski stands for something else. It's that turd that when you try to flush it down the toilet, it won't go anywhere. That's what it is. And I say this with all respect. You guys are walking to my platform. I don't give a damn. But I will say this: up there, your First Amendment right, if you come up there and you're a bigot or anything else, guess what? We have a way of handling bigots. We'll take your First Amendment right away. That's what we're gonna do for now. Because guess what? We don't have time for your childish games anymore. Because you know what? You guys are so quick. I know my time is up, brother, but I want to say this as I close.
Go ahead.
That you know what? That you guys need to stop. Because guess what? There's no this is the part that really kills me. Donald Trump literally said he would sleep with his own daughter. And you know I have a daughter, and you know how that makes me feel? Like he said that I want to run to the screen and rip his voice box out. So you guys are okay with that? Like you guys are no better off than the Cookie Monster. That's what you guys are.
That's why I said what I said, Dark Truth. Ruski is just as guilty as Donald Trump. Otherwise, he wouldn't be defending him that way.
You shouldn't be defending him. Like, how do you defend this man at this point? Like, I don't understand. Like, what the hell? Like, what are you guys smoking? Because guess what? I want some of that good green leaf. So
you don't want none of that. You don't want none of that, Dark Truth.
No, I want to. No, I'll tell you what. Because I want to feel what they're feeling.
Listen,
because
you don't want that.
It's a joke, Zeus. It's a joke.
I get it.
I don't want the Kool-Aid. I'm saying I already drank the Kool-Aid once, and I repented and I washed all my sins away. So you know what? But no, I say this. You know what? Donald Trump, I hope he has the day he deserves. And to all you Trumpers, you guys you're about as sick as your cult leader. Have the day you deserve.
All right. Good one, brother. All right, Dark Truth, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give him a round of applause. All right. Well, listen up, ladies and gentlemen. It's now time to officially land the plane. And that concludes this broadcast, all right? I want you all to give yourselves a round of applause for sticking it through to one of the most exciting, educational, entertaining shows on the platform. Good morning, April. Also, to all the panelists who came up here, the moderators, the subscribers, and the gifters, you too deserve a round of applause. The plane has landed, all right? I got to get up out of here. All right, but you know what we got to do? One last round of booze and shame. For the Zeus haters out there, the Snuggles, the J Bears, the Stacy Bears, and now we have Brewski Dooski Bear as well, who's clearly a Russian operative. All right? My critics, my haters, and my detractors. Let's give them what they deserve. One last round of booze and shame. All right, ladies and gentlemen, take care, stay safe, and be careful out here on these wild and crazy TikTok streets. I will see you all hopefully tomorrow, same Zeus time, same Zeus channel.
Most handsome in the kingdom.
And I really am the most handsome in the kingdom. Great show, everyone. Yes, Deport MAGA. Thank you, Rick.
That's how I move when I'm walking like Zeus. This is how I sound when I'm talking like Zeus. This is how
TikTok rocker.
Looking like Zeus.
And keep up the great work.
Moving like Zeus. Don't be playing with my move when I'm moving like
The
Zeus.
gloves are off. Andy, you're amazing.
Like Zeus. Thunder in the sky like Zeus.
You're still as ignorant as you were when I met you the first time. It's amazing. I don't know how you got that skill. Miss Boss Diva. And let's go. And great job. NWO. Tell them to come back to your live, Ed. Tell them Zeus wants to talk to him. Yeah, grab your goose. Hey, little mama, let me play with your caboose. I know the ladies love me cause I'm sweet like a tooth. Player hating on the gods, boy, you're such a douche. Later, swerve.
Patient, but you had a lot of
DJ Sound,
all these snakes.
Yazzie. Thank you, Yazzie. I don't know if you're here, but Yazzie, Jazzy. Yes, Dark Scorpio, let's
That's why
go.
they call me Z. This is how I move when I'm walking like Zeus. This is how I sound when I'm talking like Zeus. This is how I stare when I'm looking like
Garvey,
Zeus.
thank you.
Act a fool when I'm moving like Zeus. So be playing with my move when I'm moving like Zeus.
Ella, hey, that's a good song, right? Under my umbrella. I make my own rules. All right, Takesha.
I'm running in Hades and I'm burning down the roof.
You say you wanted facts, well, I'm living proof.
I've been waiting for this moment. I gotta choose. If you play around with love,
then you're guaranteed to lose. DJ Sound Chaser coming through sturdy and early. Lisa, let's go.
People telling me you cool. I'm just
Red Head, I love it. Paper Train. Let's go. Awesome live, yes. We made it. Despite the glitches, we made it. Slinkers Rick.
Hating on the God, he's such a douche. Try to be patient, act like my views.
Yes, Deport MAGA.
Like a mongoose. These ladies love me,
Queen
yeah, I'm the one that they choose.
You know what that
I'm
means?
so handsome, that's why they call me Zeus. This is how I move when I'm walking like Zeus.
Democracy is a gift, you're right. Look at his Rick.
This is how I stare when I'm looking like Zeus. I like to act a fool when I'm moving like Zeus. Don't be playing with
Garvey, thank you.
You thinking that you're cool till I pull up like Zeus. Thunder in the sky, light you up like Zeus.
Lisa, there you go.
I just want to buy 11,780 loves.
Yeah.
Which is one more than we have.
Which is one more than we have, right?
Donald Trump is indicted. Donald Trump is indicted and they take one charge and they turn it into 36 charges.
Let's go, Reggie!
He's deranged. Jackson. 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 He's deranged.
It's Zeus.
Jackson. Donald Trump is indicted and they take one charge and they turn it into 36 charges.
Right.
And he's a big Trump hater. Openly, he's a Trump hater. And his wife is even more of a Trump hater.
All right, you know what we gotta say.
They started just recently.
And then we're out of here.
They started just recently. They could have brought this lawsuit, Brenner, 3 years ago, right after I left. It's been 3 years. But they didn't do that.
They didn't
and
do
now
it.
they're saying we have to go immediately before the Supreme Court. This thing would have all been over with 2 years ago.
Right.
But they waited and waited, and then they saw I was running, and they waited, and then they saw I was hot, and they filed lawsuits. These are very dishonest people. That's called election interference. These are and now they're fighting like hell because they want to try and get a guilty plea.
You're right.
From the Supreme Court of the United States, which I can't imagine because you have presidential immunity. But strange things happen, but they want to get that because that's the only way they're going to win the election.
Oh.
It's a very sick thing. But think of it, they waited and waited and waited for years. In fact, nobody thought, everyone was saying they're never going to bring any charges. Most people said they're not going to bring them because they don't have anything. And then all of a sudden we started getting hit with these lawsuits. And now they're saying, let's...
Oh my God. All right, let's drop the bomb and we're out of here.
You have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't